Hot ash and lava is raining from the sky.
No.
Sirens are blaring everywhere.
Whoa.
Cars are just crashed and left abandoned on every road.
This is unbelievable.
People are just screaming, crying, running in every direction.
Wow.
Disfigured mutant half people are roaming the streets, tearing people to shreds.
My goodness.
Suddenly, the sky turns purple. A shade of purple you've never seen before.
Wow.
The sun gets gigantic and then just suddenly, literally implodes. And that is my prediction for the Super Bowl.
And you bet on that?
$5.
Oh, man. The odds have to be huge on that bet, dude.
Yeah. If we have a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to be a very rich man. Thank you, DraftKings.
Shout out DraftKings. What up, everybody? This is the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. Chip's made a very, very big wager on the big game this weekend, but almost as big a wager as being the co-host of this podcast. To my right, you know him from Netflix, from his amazing special Move Closer. It's Philadelphia's chilliest birdie, Chip Chantry.
And over here to my left is Emmy award-winning producer and writer. He puts the tick in Here Comes the Tickle Monster, Mr. Thomas O'Brien.
A lot of people say it's not appropriate for work, but I think laughing is the best medicine.
I think it is, and I think, as Brad from HR did tell you, you are at least announcing it. You're not scaring people with the tickle. You are literally saying, hey, everybody in the boardroom, I'm the Tickle Monster. Here I come.
And I also think if a company refuses to provide health insurance to their employees, they at least got to let me give a little finger medicine, you know?
Finger medicine should have been the name of this podcast. Finger medicine sounds like a Motley Crue album, maybe, or just like a VHS tape about how to deal with cuticles.
Have you ever worked with a tickler before?
I mean, I'm sure like a closeted one.
No, I mean like in the office space, throwing a couple of tickles around.
I mean, maybe I've blocked it out. Maybe that's the issue. How about you? Any ticklers in the workforce?
Oh yeah, I just actually had reacquainted with one the other day. Sent me a text message out of the blue. We haven't talked in a long while, but yeah, Carter McDonald, shout out.
Tickle Monster extraordinaire.
We were young bucks back in the early days of clip shows, and we did a lot of roughhousing, a lot of tickling, a lot of things you probably shouldn't do at work, but we were just like two meathead idiots that were doing our best to treat each other like family.
Do you think the people at Pillsbury, like, are there any workers at Pillsbury that applied to work there just because of the open tickling policy?
Yeah. Oh, I bet you got a lot of finger freaks coming into that Pillsbury office. Also, I think that's a little disturbing because it's a doughboy, Chip. You should not be touching boys at all at work. I mean, I don't care. That's some Epstein Island business, buddy.
Right.
But you know what would be great? The Pillsbury Doughboy on Epstein Island turns into a beautiful little biscuit, and I think that would be nice.
Well, he's out. He's catching some rays, getting burnt.
Yeah. No, he's gonna bake right up in that tropical environment, and I think him with a nice mac nut crusted fish.
Ooh,
come on, buddy. Now, bon appetit.
That'd be tickling my tummy all day. I'll tell you that much. Tickling my tummy from the inside.
I wonder if a lot of those wealthy businessmen ended up on Epstein Island for the food, Chip, and then they were just like, what's going on here?
I haven't read all the files, but I'm assuming the food was amazing.
Oh, it had to be top notch.
It's like, yeah, I'm just here for the food. Like, I'm just here for the camaraderie, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not much of a gambler. It's like going to Vegas. I'm not much of a gambler. I'm just here for my friends.
Which I did this weekend. I went to Vegas, buddy.
That's right. How was it?
It was so fun. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
we'll talk about it.
Right
Yeah,
now,
you know
we
what
need
we
to
have
get
to do.
slathered up, bud.
Even though it is 32 degrees right now, which is actually a balmy temperature for Philadelphia, considering the past month.
That's just at freezing, not below, right?
That is, we're at the precipice, if I can use such a word.
You can.
Okay,
I'll
did.
have to look it up,
Precipice.
but we can. You can use it.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get this. That feels good. That smells good. I'm ready to go. I'm in the island spirit, even though again I'm wearing another sweatshirt over my Aloha shirt because it is it's cold here. But again, that's why we have the islands to dream about.
I'm going a shirt under the Hawaiian. I stole that move from you.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm going to do that sometime.
You are truly an unprecedented chilliness, Chip.
I think I am. Yeah.
Have you thought about moving? Have you thought about moving during this cold snap?
Many times. Yeah, during this cold snap. Yes, absolutely. It's just, well, and what I think we talked about a little bit last week, but what the problem is we had a foot of snow over a week ago, almost a week and a half ago, and it's barely gone anywhere.
Wow.
And like they've literally had construction crews basically like just digging snow out and trying to remove it from the city just so people can get around. Like that's how it's and again, I know people deal with that in the upper Midwest and the northern states all the time, but yeah, we're not used to it. The snow coming and then just being here. Like it's not even the cold that's bothering me as much. It's just we're trapped. Like you can't walk down the sidewalk because not everybody shovels their sidewalks the same width like they should. And so there's like one skinny path. So when I'm walking my dog and there's a gentleman walking towards me, we have to decide which one's going to pass first. So there's a lot of eye contact, a lot of nastiness, a lot of alpha, I think, coming from my energy. I give off the alpha, you know? And then I'll pull off to the side every once in a while if I'm feeling generous.
It's got to put a little bit of salt in your game to have that Big Johnson t-shirt that you wear to show your alphaness be under a big heavy coat.
Yep, and those mesh shorts with some Crocs, rocking it out, showing people just like Tony Danza who is the boss.
Now, have you thought about picking up smoking to keep you warm outdoors?
I have. And it's not going well. I'm more lightheaded than anything else.
Yeah.
But I think it is working. I can feel my veins constricting.
That's good.
I think it's a good, healthy feeling.
Yeah.
When your veins constrict.
You want a little tightness in the veins.
You want some tightness in the veins. So I think I do that. So, yeah, what I've been doing a lot of smoking and shoveling of heavy, heavy snow.
Yeah.
At the same time. And I think I've a lot of chest pains. But, hey, that's what the wintertime is all about, Thomas.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a tough season. I'm not exactly dealing with it you're dealing with. It's going to be 80 degrees here tomorrow, Chip.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, we're rocking it out, baby. All right, let's get into it. This episode, we're heading back to the Hypochondriac Corner. Had a little moment this week. I went to Las Vegas and got in, let's just say, a major accident.
Spoiler alert, you're okay.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I'm okay.
That Girl Scout troop in the crosswalk, not so much. We'll leave it for after. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fill you in. I've got a mystery receipt from Honolulu, Chip. I told you a little bit about this, but we got to dig into it. And then we're getting into the good book, World Records, baby. And if you want to call in and tell us about your worst vacation trip, you can call the number 310-845-6038. And let us know the worst vacation story you've ever had. We'll play it here on the podcast, potentially.
Leave your name or leave it anonymously.
It can be super anon. But let us know about those horrible vacation stories. We love to hear them. We love to chat about them. And then we love to feel better about our previous trips, because somebody's had worse ones than us.
It's all relative.
This is the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. If you think those two things should go together, stay tuned. Front desk.
Hello, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. We live in a cold, indifferent world. Rain pours down. My mind aches. My shoulders, hunched, stiff, house 1,000 knots from 1,000 battles.
Mr. Chantry, again, I'm not coming up to your room to give you a back rub.
Okie dokie.
Chip.
Thomas O'Brien.
It is episode 49 of the Sunburnt Podcast.
I mean, we're going for the golden anniversary next week.
We really are.
I hope you've sent my gift.
Yeah.
It's in the mail, I would assume, for the big 50th anniversary. All right, good.
And just for clarification, golden anniversary and golden shower, the same.
Same exact thing. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength.
Okay.
The same
Yeah,
wavelength.
That gift's in the mail.
Yep.
It's inside a cat. Buddy, how's your weekend?
It was pretty good. Besides the fact that we're still covered in snow and ice.
How are you dealing with that ice world? Not unlike Waterworld.
Right, not unlike Waterworld. Yeah, it is. It's a lot to get through. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Literally, I think we have a few more days, maybe like 4 or 5 more days of brutal cold, and then it starts getting above the old freezing line.
Boy.
But yes, my weekend was decent. I mean, it's just I am so rattled though by the fact that it's going to be 80 degrees in Los Angeles tomorrow, and it's going to be about 30 in Philadelphia. So still trying to process all of that right now.
When you met me, I was doing my year in New York.
Yes.
And after one of those winters, I don't know what you guys are doing over there. It's like, just keep moving west, baby, or south, or wherever you need to go. Daddy don't like to be that chilly no more.
No. Hook up the horses, get the wagon ready.
Get on that old Oregon Trail.
Get that dysentery. If that's what it takes, move it along.
But it does make the heart grow fonder for warm tropical climates and lovely, lovely tropical vacations, which is what we're here to talk about. But yeah, big weekend on my end. My wife got a little promo at work, and to celebrate, we headed to the desert this weekend, Chip. We went to Las Vegas, baby.
Sandy Las Vegas.
Had some wonderful meals. Had some delightful cocktails. We stayed at the Wynn, which is a wonderful property. But the big to-do, the big story from the whole thing was we were in a taxi cab, and it was the most bizarre car accident I can even imagine. I've replayed this thing no less than 1 million times in my head because the pieces don't add up. It doesn't make sense. What I saw, felt, and experienced in that taxi cab as we collided with a Kia SUV it just didn't make any sense to me, Chip.
Okay, were you on without knowing it, I don't know if you had to sign a release, were you on a new episode of like Crank Yankers? Were there puppets driving the taxi cab or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Jamie Kennedy was in the car, but that's unrelated.
That totally
It's got to
separate.
be unrelated.
Okay. No, it has to be. Okay.
Yeah. And also, I don't think I was going to say I didn't sign a release, but I don't know that you need a release in Las Vegas. I think you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah, what they say, what happens in Vegas can be reproduced with your verbal consent, I believe. Yep.
I actually think Crank Yankers was done in Vegas because of like the phone call recording laws being less strict. You're not allowed to do that in California.
No.
But anyways, dude, freaking in the taxi cab coming back from Absinthe. It's at Caesar's Palace. It's like a really cool variety show.
Okay.
That happens in like a carnival, and there's just a bunch of carnies, and they're doing like these tricks, and there's a sword swallower, and there's people flying through the air, there's acrobats, there's a roller skate act, a lot of fun stuff happening there. But we get done seeing this dazzling display. It was a really fun vibe. We get in the taxi cab, heading back to the Wynn, and we are on the Strip, baby.
Okay.
We've seen it a million times in movies.
Yeah, you're feeling good. Vegas, baby.
The King is playing in my mind. Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Driving down the Strip, and there is a bus parked, picking up or dropping off some people in front of us. We are in the far right lane. Our taxi cab driver flips on his blinker and is trying to merge over before he has to slow down.
Right. Okay.
The car next to us leans on the horn. Just a full and my guy just keeps drifting.
I believe that's called a Tokyo drift. Is that right?
I wouldn't know, dude. I've never been.
All right.
There's this car right here, and this guy is getting angry. He just keeps honking and honking. He's like, what? He's like, he's not letting us in.
And how fast are you going by now?
10, 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The moment of contact happens. My driver never hits the brakes once. We're touching this other car, and he just keeps going. And instead of hitting his brakes or slowing down, the car next to me speeds up. But like, holy cow, dude! Like, I'm in this car, and it's just, I mean, completely scraped both sides, wiped off mirrors. And it happened for no reason. Like, these guys, neither of them were just going to back down. One slows down, one speeds up. We're fine. Both stop. Like, there's so many ways, but everybody just keep doing what they were going to do where we wouldn't be in this car crash, dude.
Right.
And now I think this is where the real danger starts. Because this guy speeds off ahead of us. I'm not even sure if he's going to stop. He just goes so fast, and then he pulls over to the side. My guy stops right in the middle of the road and doesn't say a word. He just goes to the back and opens up the trunk.
That's never a good idea. That's never a fun thing. He's never like, oh, I left my jelly beans back there. That's never what that's for.
It's not like, I think my registration's in there. Maybe I got to grab it for the paperwork.
Let me get my state farm insurance card.
It's got some tips for how to handle this. So I'm just like, holy. And there's a weird part of me that feels some ownership, I guess always, to make sure that like everything's okay. Like these guys aren't going to kill each other or get in a fight. But like, I have a baby at home. Yeah. I have my wife in the car. And I'm just like, we need to get out of here, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, the other driver, the Kia, he is pulled over. He is a big dude, and he is furious.
When a slow-moving taxi cab just runs down the side of your vehicle. Yeah.
I still can't, like, it doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, what happened? Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe there's something weird. But I couldn't stop thinking. I was like, who just gets in a car accident
on purpose?
To prove a point, to like prove some kind of alpha, whatever. I'm just gonna, this might as well happen. Yeah.
And what did he pull out of the trunk?
No clue, dude, because we got out of there.
As would I.
Threw too much money on the driver's seat, and I was like, to my wife, I'm like, just get out of here. Do not look back.
Yeah.
Get around the corner. Let's get safe and sound, because whatever's going to happen on there is not going to be good. Like,
yeah.
It was car accident aftermath is never fun, but like when both parties essentially chose to get into that accident to like try and play chicken or something, I don't know, to try and out alpha, it was very, very bizarre, dude. Like I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
What was going on? What was going through their mind? Like, is this an insurance scam? Are these buddies that got in this accident to hit the taxi cab's insurance company?
There's the angle. I like that angle. Like, this is all, again, it is monetary crank yankers is what it is.
Monetary crank yankers.
They're playing a big joke on the insurance agencies with flair and zest.
You've called the Federal Reserve monetary crank anchors for years, Chip.
Yes, I have.
Isn't that a better name for them?
Yes. Yeah. And, well, I've also referred to the Department of the Interior as, I believe I called it natural strangers with candy, I believe is what I call it. Yeah. And then I have called the Secretary of Education, literary Kenny versus Spenny, I think is. I'm just thinking of Comedy Central shows from the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a Tosh.0 in there somewhere.
Yes, there is.
They used to let anything be a TV show, didn't they?
Those were the days, Thomas. Look at us making our own little thing right here. Back if this was 20 years ago, it'd be just Chip versus Thomas. We'd have a buttload of money, and we'd be recreating that car crash right now.
But we'd also be like on an island doing something bizarre.
Yeah.
We'd be doing our version of David Letterman, Parrot co-host.
Yes.
Eric Andre style guest interactions. Just like horrific spray tans.
Yes.
We would be so
sprayed down.
What was the tan man's name? Hamill? Something Hamill?
Oh, George Hamilton?
George Hamilton. Yes.
Mark Hamill, I think you're thinking of. Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
We would be doing our own version of Star Wars.
This is something I've been meaning to bring up to you.
Have you never seen Star Wars? Is that what you're going to say?
What is it? I know what World War I was. I know what World War II was.
Vietnam.
I never read about the Star Wars.
So the Star Wars was back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of money. And what they did was it was celebrities or stars from each of the major networks would battle against each other in a bunch of athletic sort of Olympiad kind of games.
I want to get back to my car crash ship.
Yeah.
There could have been a version where they're in cahoots. Does anything else make sense to you about how this happened, how this would come to be? Because I've been trying to piece it together, reliving it over and over. I can't figure it out.
Was your driver aware that the car was there when he was merging? Like, obviously, the guy was laying on the horn, all that stuff. What did he see him and was like, I'm still just going? Or do you think he was initially caught off guard?
That was my assumption. My assumption was that he was just like, dude, this is Vegas. I'm a cab driver. Like, let me in. Yeah. But one of the scenarios I did think of is, what if the driver is hearing impaired?
True.
What if he couldn't hear the horn?
Plus, you're screaming "Viva Las Vegas!" from right behind him.
I am really being a distraction.
Yeah.
But also, thinking about kind of the front of the car is even with where I am in the driver's side backseat.
Yeah.
Could have been a blind spot.
Yeah.
The horn, I guess, could have been coming from anywhere. There's lots of horns.
So really, I'm trying to piece this together. So he pulls over, maybe doesn't see him, and really what the other driver should have done, like you said, is slam on the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
But he decides to push forward to prove that he's right, and then just ruining the sides of both cars.
No, dude, these cars were... I mean, I didn't get out and inspect the car I was in.
Sure.
We literally got out of the passenger side door. I was just like, wife, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Threw a 20 back, and we walked right into our hotel. But, yeah, dude, it was bizarre. Something about it felt surreal and off, and it was like the last thing we did before we, went to bed and woke up in the morning and flew back to Los Angeles. So, I don't know, dude. It was just one of those things. I'll never forget it. Nobody on my end was hurt. It was like a big adrenaline rush. And I don't know, Chip, at the end of a trip, I feel like as long as nobody got hurt, no permanent damage, and you've got an extra story, why not?
Okay. Here's what I'm proposing.
Please propose.
Okay. I'm going back to the Crank Yankers idea.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
This is live theater.
Yes.
Immersive theater. Okay.
Oh, maybe a clown thing.
Yes. There could be a clown involved. But you want to take your lady out. She got a promotion at work, like you said. Mm-hmm. You take her out to a nice dinner. Mm-hmm. You go to a show. Mm-hmm. Right? Or maybe you have friends with you. Right?
Yeah.
There's another couple. And you're like, hey, we want to show them a good night out on the town. We know Vegas like the back of our hand. We're going to go to this casino. We're going to go see this show. We're going to go to this great bar, whatever. And then to cap the evening off, you're like, oh, hey, I will hail the cab and or call the Uber.
Yeah.
You get in, but what they don't know is that this is a whole other show that they're about to be a part of that they don't even know.
Yeah.
You get in with a cab driver. The cab driver seems a little shifty. Maybe he makes a couple of remarks that are like, oh, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
And then he maybe starts asking about where you're from. Maybe he starts hitting on one of the ladies. Gets
right.
Maybe just gets a little. He's being goofy, but there's some funny to it. But you're like, this guy's weird. Mm-hmm. Then he's behind a bus, hits another car. The car gets irate. They ram into each other. And then they get into a big screaming match. He goes back to the trunk, pulls out God knows what, and they start a major fight right on the street. You throw a 20, you're like, hey, friends or wife or whoever,
Yeah.
get out of the car. Let's get back. And then you're like, let's go to the hotel bar for a quick drink to decompress. Let's talk about that. And then you have this big moment of like, wow, now we're going to have a story forever. What they never know is you hired that company, which consists of the cab driver and the other driver, to stage an accident just to give the unsuspecting witnesses a story that they can have forever.
Yeah.
Second question. What if that was my early 50th episode present to you and your wife?
Oh, wow. It was a story we could tell forever.
The story you could tell her. I hired the actor who was part of the quote-unquote taxi company who you picked up. He was waiting for you there outside of Absinthe, and he's the one who took you. The other actor was like, all right, I'm in my Kia Sportage. We're going to do this. And then they coordinate. Boom, they give you that accident. That's the company that we should start in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Memories Unlimited, dude.
There it is. Memories Unlimited.
Memories Unlimited, where we craft. They're not going to be like good memories, but you'll never forget them.
No, where worlds collide. Maybe it's something like that. And fenders.
Yeah, where like a magician craps your pants. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's happened a number of times.
Yeah.
Or like, what if it's a situation where it's like, okay, you're at the hotel, you and your wife, and let's say it's another couple, and you go in, and you're like, all right, we're going to dinner, or maybe, hey, we're coming home from dinner. You're on like the 20th floor, the elevator gets stuck, and you happen to be there with a man who is rather strange.
Yeah.
Right? And then you learn his life story, and he's there with his wife, and she's about to give birth. And you're going to have to give birth in the elevator, like on sitcoms and such, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the elevator starts working again.
Yeah.
You go back to your rooms. Whole thing was a setup.
Oh, my God.
You paid them $200, this company.
Yeah.
For Memories to Collide. So now, and you did that for your friends. They never know, but they just saw an amazing show that they're going to tell as if it really happened. I think that's what we should be doing. We should be we're talking about virtual reality. We're talking about artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about real people having real accidents and making real memories.
That's it. Memories Unlimited.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can reach Memories Unlimited by calling the number 310-845-6038. That's 310-845-6038. Chip, this is all fine and dandy, but we need to get to our next segment, buddy. And this one's called For the Algo, where we are talking about trending topics that might get the algorithm to like our podcast.
Pumping that algo.
Number one, Chip, Bahama Breeze, baby, closing its doors for good. Have you ever been to a Bahama Breeze?
I have, as a matter of fact. Yeah. 2 memorable times I've been there.
Wow. Okay. 28 locations closing, Chip. 28 locations closing nationwide.
Is that all of the locations, or just 28 of the
No,
many more?
100% of the remaining locations are closing down. They're not going away. The restaurants are going to stay run by the Darden Group. They're just going to transport them to another one of their types of restaurants, which include, most notably for me, the Olive Garden, my former employer.
Yeah, when you're here, your family. I think that's how it works. Were you ever family when you were there?
I didn't feel a big family vibe from the staff, but I did probably gain a solid 10 pounds from those mints alone, the chocolate mints. I would just pound those mothers.
So what you're saying is, even though you didn't think you were family, you did create a dad bod.
Yeah.
Which is a member of the family, Thomas.
Maybe I was the dad of the garden.
First of all, Olive Garden. I remember going to the Olive Garden in Burbank a number of times. I'm sure you were there.
Oh, yeah. No, we did a couple of lunches at the garden.
we would go for lunch. You, me, and our buddy Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
And we would have that fixed lunch menu. It was great. You would get like one type of salad, one type of appetizer, one entree or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, what a fun time to be alive. Okay, so
it really was a special time.
It really was. There is a time, because that was late 2018, early 2019. There's and it was a special time for me just in general. But those like 2 years leading up to the pandemic, I think are so special because it's like we then had all of that time then just to sit around and reflect on the few months, the year or two before we were locked down.
Put a spotlight on that window in time.
And I think it really puts a spotlight on that window of time where it's like, I have some good memories from when I was out and about in the world. Go into Olive Garden, baby, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's what it is. But so Bahama Breeze, from what I remember, it's been many years. There was one in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, right by the King of Prussia Plaza, one of the largest malls in the world. At one time, the largest mall in the world. And it's basically the Olive Garden, but for the beach.
I love it.
I think it was like burgers, sandwiches. There was, I'm sure, like barbecue stuff, charred stuff, you know, because it's like it was the island theme. I'm sure they had tons of margs.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of open air to a certain extent, as much as you can be open air in, you know, Pennsylvania in the wintertime. You know, I think there was some outdoors. Was there outdoors? There must have been a deck or some outdoor seating, but then, you know, indoor to make it look like it was outdoor. So that's always fun. I'll tell you, the food, I am a sucker for any restaurant that makes the inside look like the outside.
Yeah, no, that's it. Environment.
Well, you went to Caesars. You were at Caesar's Palace, right? When you're there with the canal, and you're like, hey, it's nighttime in Venice right now. You're like, no, it's noon in Las Vegas. There is something very special. I don't understand why more restaurants or stores, organizations, buildings don't make insides look like outsides.
You're leaving money on the table if you don't.
If you are a store, if you're a restaurant, put some brick walls out there. Put some thatched roofs coming out, okay? Make it look like a city skyline. Make the inside look like the outside.
That was one of the most striking things about Vegas for me the first time I went as a young man. I know we've walked these halls together in Sin City, but just all the skies on the ceilings.
Yes.
In those malls, you're in Venice, you're in Rome, you're wherever you are, but like you're inside, you're in a mall, but you look up and there's just a beautiful sky with clouds.
Yes.
It's the middle of the night. It's sunny outside. It's beautiful.
So Bahama Breeze, that's what I remember. I remember being there 2 very awkward times. One I don't want to talk about. My now wife and I were there with 2 other people. They weren't a couple, and I can't even get into it. It was very bizarre, and for reasons that I can't even say on this podcast. I know I'm being cryptic, but it got even crazier. So I'm not even going to talk about that time. It was a bizarre time. And then I went there on like a lunch date. It was one of my first and only dates I ever went on. Like, it was just, it was not good. And it was like, you know, we just didn't really jive. And I was like, this is awkward. And I remember being on that awkward date. And that's that.
You, young Chip Chantry, were like, I asked this last out.
Yeah.
First place in my mind, Bahama Breeze, baby.
I think it was freshly opened, and it was like, for better or worse, the big new thing around town. People are like, oh, wow. You can go to the islands right off of 422.
I love it, dude. I'd go there probably over an Olive Garden, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds right up my alley, dude. But I mean, there is the chain restaurant thing, which I'm usually not a huge fan of. But I like an environment, man. If you're going to give me a place where I can kick back and feel like I'm in the islands, I'm probably going to go check it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was fun. And again, I can't really picture it too much, but I remember, you know, it had that fun vibe. It's a couple of steps up from Sharky's. Are you familiar with Sharky's?
I am familiar with Sharky's.
Yeah. So, like, I think that kind of feel that. Speaking of being out in Burbank, that's when that's the only time I was ever at Sharky's. Was in that, I think, same major Burbank center or whatever. That we would go to lunch at the Sharky sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember the very first thing I ever did. I was a PA on a TV show.
Yeah.
I got sent on a run to the Best Buy in that same complex in Burbank.
Okay.
And I had to get I think it was a PlayStation 3 for the owner of the production company. And I had to go to his house and set it up.
Oh, my God.
It's just like such a weird thing I just can't really imagine that happening anymore. Like, just something that's so clearly not business related day one. Yeah. Like, it's not like we developed a relationship, blah, blah, blah. It was just
right. And like, even
the new guy's going to go over to your house and install a PlayStation 3.
Like, were you escorted there? Like, how did you get in? Like, was his wife home or?
I don't remember.
Because, like, it's your first day, so, like, how does he know that you're not a crazy person, you know?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
But I do remember I went to that Best Buy, and I think that was the Best Buy for... Do you remember the show Chuck?
I never saw it, but did he work at Best Buy?
He worked at Best Buy or something that was... It was like... It was that store, I'm pretty sure, right there in Burbank. So it was like, cool.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Fry's. Another one of my favorite, not always the inside, the outside, but, boy, decor. They went for decor. Fry's
They went big.
I
went to Fry's. The last time I went to Fry's, dude, it is just a swap meet in there. They didn't.
Yeah, it's they sell like socks and notebooks and stuff.
It really went downhill. Like, they don't own anything in the store. Like, it's a consignment store where like people just.
Oh, okay.
Like, it went from being like the tech warehouse. Like, it used to be awesome. You could get anything there, anything tech. Yeah, it was the cutting edge. But then just like you can get all that stuff online. So they stopped being valuable, and now it's like just as seen on TV stuff, and nobody even watches TV anymore.
No. As watched on the internet. That's another thing we need to start out with. We need to start selling products in stores, getting like end cap displays that say, as viewed on the internet.
As viewed on the internet. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's people want the stuff on the internet. They just want it to be harder to get.
Thomas, I mean, we're not even going to have time for the podcast anymore. We have as viewed on the internet. That's going to be one business venture. Mm-hmm. The other business venture is, again, opening a restaurant where the inside looks like the outside.
Yeah.
And then we're also starting the immersive theater where people get into taxi accidents. They get stuck in elevators. They get, like, held up.
Memories Unlimited.
Memories Unlimited.
The inside looks like the outside. I just remembered. I think that is the, plot to Night at the Roxbury.
Is it?
I think they end up having an idea for a club where, because they never got into the club, they made the line to get into the club look like the inside of the club. And then I think the outside was on the inside.
Whether I'm proud to admit this or not, I've never actually viewed the movie Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, you're probably all right. Okay, you get it.
Yeah. I've seen everything else in Catan's library, but just not that part.
Yeah. Corky Romano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have been just cooking.
Yeah.
Hypochondriac Corner, Chip.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We're back in Hypochondriac Corner, and this one is via the most recent episode of The Pit, which we spoiled the finale to last week.
Oh.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, guys.
Because Chip knows a writer on the show that fed him some information. Oh,
sorry.
We're not saying that. Yeah. But, wow. Is the season 2 going to have a finale?
Wow.
But there was, and maybe this was your friend, Chip, one of the writers in that writer's room just decided to do something that gets right in T-Bone's head.
Oh, no.
So, The Pit, if you haven't seen it, it's one day.
Yes.
In a, ER type situation. People are coming and going, and every episode is kind of just like a different hour out of the day. It's like a real-time show.
Yeah.
Supposedly. So you meet characters when they come into the hospital. Not a lot is known. And over the course of the episode, or maybe a couple episodes, you're going to find out new information about those characters, reveal what's actually wrong. Is there like something weird happening medically? So you get to know these people, but generally when they come in, you just get the very basics.
Right.
What you need to know, what the doctors find out. Like, we got somebody coming in from an ambulance. He was in a car accident, had a lot of bleeding from the blah, blah, blah. So you get these rundowns, and Dude, one of my favorite foods of all time. I had it for the first time in Mexico on my honeymoon at Playa Escondida.
Cracker Jacks.
Not Cracker Jacks.
Okay.
It's called Chilaquiles. It is
Chilaquiles.
chips with like some enchilada type sauce on it, a fried egg, and some cheese. It's like a Mexican breakfast.
Nice.
Love Chilaquiles. So I just literally on Saturday afternoon had Chilaquiles for lunch.
Ugh.
I get home on Sunday. We're watching The Pit. This woman gets brought in with a horrible tummy and head issues. She has a stomach ache. I think she has a headache. And the only piece of information you get is she's wheeled off of the ambulance is she had Chilaquiles for lunch.
No, Thomas.
And it just gets into your head. It's just like, that's it? There's no other, like, the only thing they're going to tell us about this lady is she had Chilaquiles for lunch. And now every time I order that off the menu, I'm just going to picture this poor woman writhing in pain
on
getting
a gurney.
brought off on a gurney from an ambulance, bud.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tom. A, I blame the show. B, I blame you, the hypochondriac, for watching this show.
Yeah, no.
Like that is self-torture.
Yeah, and what else are you going to do? Self-pleasure? Self-medicate? We know Daddy self-medicates.
We know Daddy self-medicates.
You got to face your demons. You got to jump
Yeah.
right in there. But there's something, I think it's the same reason I decided to do improv.
Mm-hmm.
I am an anxious person.
Yep.
And I think not being in control scared me. So I was like, I'm going to go fight that dragon head on.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
I can't be scared of the chaos if I control the chaos, baby.
So now you haven't learned anything else about this lady, have you?
No, because it's, you only get one peek into them every episode.
Maybe it's the red herring of she is having appendicitis or whatever, and that's totally unrelated.
The red herrings are usually a little more subtle.
Right.
They generally don't say what the person's last meal was when they bring these people in. I think they said it for a reason. I'm wondering if there's going to be something weird in the eggs.
Some E. coli.
I'm hoping there's not a bug that pops out of her chest alien style.
Right. I've seen Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. But it did trigger me. And that's it. The Hypochondriac Corner is coming to a close.
I'm so sorry. And I need to be updated next week. I need to find out more about this lady now.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's really going to change as a fellow hypochondriac, that's going to change your trajectory of how you feel about Chilaquiles.
Yeah.
So we need to be updated next week. I want to know what happens on the pit this week.
I'll keep that thread alive, but also I bring it up because there is a tie to tropical travel. Playa Escondida, where I first had Chilaquiles, just a little north of Puerto Vallarta. Beautiful tropical paradise. Really enjoyed the 9 days I spent there.
Yeah, you did.
On my honeymoon. Now, Chip, we've got another mystery. It has nothing to do with being a hypochondriac, but it is something that I honest to goodness can't remember how this got on my desk. Mm-hmm. It was just in a drawer on my desk, and I don't keep a lot of receipts. This receipt looks brand new. I can read everything on it. It is from November 4th, 2017.
Ooh, all right.
And it's from a place you and I have both been together, the Westin Moana Surfrider in Waikiki. Oh. Very nice hotel.
I was just talking about the banyan trees yesterday.
Ooh, to who?
Yeah, at the
to a pine tree? Were you?
I was speaking to a pine tree. He was driving his pine cones. I was like, hey, by the way, I got to tell you about this. Yeah, but no, okay. So Moana Surfrider, I love it.
Moana Surfrider, 2017. That would put it at just a hair over 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about this receipt, Chip. Moana Surfrider, not an inexpensive place.
No.
Kind of up there on the luxury end of things.
Yes.
This receipt is for 2 items.
Okay.
It has an I-H Stan is the description. And the total of each item was 30 cents. I can't. So this whole receipt is for, including tax, 63 cents. And it's not making sense to me what this could possibly be.
It's making 63 cents to me. Okay. So you bought 2 items. I'm assuming identical items.
They have the same description.
Each for 30 cents.
Uh-huh. And it's I-H. I looked it up. Sometimes that means in-house.
Okay.
So I just, for the life of me, so a couple other pieces of information. The clerk was Rose Melinda Yu.
Okay.
Rose Melinda Yu sold me these things.
So
5:12 p.m. It was at 5:12 p.m.
Okay. So next week we will have Rosalinda Yu on the podcast as a guest, and we're gonna see if we can jar her memory. Okay. So the first thing I thought was Ferrero Rocher candies, those little golden candy nuggets. You're like, I need 2 of those, and they're like, you know what?
I was already in paradise. I might as well have a sweet treat. You know, I love a sweet treat.
Yeah, of course you do. Okay. What about? Okay. Here's one thing they do at the ABC store, Thomas.
Uh-huh.
If you purchase a float, they blow them up for you.
Okay.
Would it have cost 30 seconds back? 30 cents back then?
That could be.
I think it cost $1 a piece.
I guess I could have got it blown up at the Moana Surfrider. They did used to have like an air pump back there, and they could blow things up for you. I don't think they have it anymore, but yeah, maybe I could have got a float blow up.
But it was at the ABC store there, right?
No. This was not at an ABC store. This was.
Oh, it was not. I apologize.
No,
okay.
this was at the Moana Surfrider.
Just at the store. Okay.
Yeah, General Hotel.
Okay, because I was thinking at the ABC store because we bought our floats. They were like $14, and they're like for $1 each. For $1 each, we'll blow them up.
The ABC store, the $1 to blow it up, that's new.
Oh.
That's new.
Okay.
That was the first time it cost money. They were always just like on a kind of like they would have a pole.
Right. And then you just
they would be blown up on the pole, and you would just pull off the blown up ones, and it cost.
And they're just like, hey, it's taking up too much space right now. We got too much, real estate. We need to fill up.
Yeah, they really hid those bad boys away. It used to be one of the main items that would draw people in. It was literally like sunscreen at the front, and then on the other side, floaties blown up right by the door.
Yeah.
The floaties are in a little package, unblown up in the back, and you kind of got to wait for them to get blown up now. But I do remember that back in the day, 2017 specifically, if you needed to get a little refresh on your blow up, you could go over to the towel guy right there at the Moana.
Okay.
And he had a pump that would blow it up for you. I haven't seen that in a while, but maybe it did cost 30 cents to get
the old blow and wipe is what you're saying.
The old blow and wipe, because you want them to wipe it.
Right.
You don't. Yeah. All blows should end with a wipe, Chip. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, 30 cents each.
Mm-hmm.
Like a stick of gum, a piece of candy. It's in-house.
Could be a stick of gum. I feel like they would give away a loose piece of candy, potentially, for being a wonderful guest at their establishment.
A little mint.
But 30 cents, a separate transaction. If you have any idea what I might have paid 30 cents for at the Moana Surfrider in 2017, did it twice, go ahead. Drop a comment. Let me know what it might have been. I am beside myself. I can't figure it out. This is maybe the biggest mystery of my time, Chip.
Maybe besides getting Rosalinda on here, do we fly back out to Hawaii, set up shop at the Moana for a week, just sort of, nose around, see what we can find out, like the sleuths we are.
Yeah, and then we can also just like really strictly track our spending. And if anything falls firmly in that 30-cent bucket, we'll know that's a clue.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a clue. I'm in, dude.
That's a clue. I think that's our next big journey. We're on the case is what I'm saying.
Oh, dude, tropical detectives. Maybe we've been talking about writing a new script.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something in a tropical detective, like a Knives Out for the islands.
Like an onion made of glass.
Like an onion made of glass, precisely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, Chip. It is time to get into the good book, buddy.
Oh, my goodness.
We're working off the 2026 edition, the Guinness Book of World Records, baby.
Yes, we are. Proudly.
The good book, the Guinness Book of World Records, it's about facts. This is where we go to get grounded. They're verified. They're all real. It is a tremendous source of truth, which is why it's been made the main text of our little community here.
Yes, of course.
And I don't know if you know this or not, Chip, but there is a big game coming up this weekend.
Really?
It's the Super Bowl, baby.
Super Bowl Sunday, baby. Your Seahawks. The Hawks are playing.
Go Hawks, baby. Yeah, I'm very excited. The Seahawks are playing. They've been my team since I was born. My dad, growing up in Orange County, somehow became a Seahawks fan, and he brought that to the family. So, dude, very
well, and
excited.
then you also moved up to Oregon, a little closer to
probably
country.
to be closer to the Seahawks, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been the big deal. But yeah, grew up in Santa Barbara until I moved to Oregon, and was a Seahawks fan the whole time, though, which was very rare in Southern California.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's not as rare. There's a beautiful little Seahawks bar right in Culver City.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that you can go and meet.
Is that where you're going to go for the game?
No.
Yeah.
It's too important, dude. I'm not even having like friends over for the game. We normally
need to focus. I understand.
We normally do a Super Bowl party, but I was talking to my friend Scott Garrison, and he is from Washington proper, Washington boy.
Yeah.
Who ended up going to Florida State University and then met a bunch of people in the film program there who I became friends with. We've been in this group, but we are the two Seahawk heads.
Yeah,
that I know out here, the Hawk heads. We were having dinner a couple weeks ago, and he was like, if the Hawks make it to the Super Bowl, he's like, we will not be enjoying it together. He was like, it's too serious. He's like, I'm just going to watch it at home with the fam. Mm-hmm. And, it's just not a social event when it's your team, Chip.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially
I
when
went
you're
a different.
I
I do agree with that. I went a different route when the Eagles went to the Super Bowls these last couple of years. We had a party last year.
Yeah.
And then the 2 years before that, when they went, we went to bars to actually watch it, and it was intense. But part of me wanted to be like, maybe I should just be at home, being able to really, really watch this. But
no, I think if I lived in Seattle, it would be a much more community thing.
Right.
But,
and this was a community thing. We literally had a table of 12. I knew the owner of the bar. It was like a whole, it's like one of those things. So it was a little bit more. But like sometimes you want to focus. So I understand what you're saying. How many times have the Seahawks won the Super Bowl?
In my lifetime, once.
Once. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about 10, 12 years ago. Is that right?
I think it was 2013, I want to say.
Yeah.
So like 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Who did they beat? They beat the Broncos? No.
Yeah, I do think it was the Broncos.
Was that the one? They blew them out of the water, right? Or no?
I don't remember the score off the top of my head.
That might have been a different. Yeah. Do you remember? Okay, can I ask you this? Do you remember the halftime act?
I don't. Okay.
There was one, and I thought it was the Seahawks, and I thought they trounced somebody because it was just like almost like a boring game because they were just so far ahead. And I could be getting this totally wrong, but I remember Bruno Mars was the halftime performer, and I didn't know much about Bruno Mars. And I was like, this man is talented. This man is full of talent. Chock full of it. Yeah.
What a little talent ball that man is.
Little talent ball.
I love Bruno Mars.
Good luck tomorrow, man, or this weekend.
Thank you very much. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. I'm rooting for the Hawks. A, for you, and B, I'll root against the Patriots anytime I have the opportunity.
Yeah, they've had quite a run, and made quite a few enemies along the way. So I definitely get that. Yeah. But Chip, that brings me to my world record.
All right.
I found the record for the most times a city has hosted the Super Bowl
Ooh.
And this record isn't just topical with the game being this weekend. It's also a little tropical.
Whoa.
This weekend is the 60th Super Bowl. How many times do you think a single city has hosted the big game, Chip?
I feel like they go to a lot of the same locations, like either warmer locations or a place with a dome.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet you there's been some overlap. Like, I don't know if Philadelphia's ever had one. I don't think we've ever had a Super Bowl. I'm going to say, like, I have a guess for the city.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say 4 times. 5 times. I'm going to say 5. 5 times. And that city is New Orleans, Louisiana.
Dude, that is a great guess. But, and actually, you're right. You're right technically.
Oh.
But there is one other place that shares the record with New Orleans. You're not right about the number of times, but you're right about New Orleans. And that's that's where it was last year. So last year was New Orleans' 11th time hosting the Super Bowl.
Jeez.
Yeah. And New Orleans, famously, Jimmy Buffett's team, dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett loved the Saints.
Yes, he
so
did.
That's a nice tropical tie-in.
Yep.
But the other place that has hosted 11 times and technically did it first, party in the city that will fill your hole, Miami's hosted 11 Super Bowls.
Miami.
Miami held the crown for years. It hit 11 back in 2020, but just last year, in February 2025, New Orleans hosted Super Bowl 59 to officially tie the record. There's, including this year, we know it's going to be in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. There's been 60 Super Bowls, and I kind of did the math. It looks like 39 of those times, at least, were in warm weather areas.
Yes.
The good book doesn't necessarily track Super Bowls by town.
Okay.
They kind of count metropolitan areas is how they kind of divvy it up. So technically the Super Bowl has been held in Pasadena before, but they still count that as the Los Angeles metropolitan area.
Greater Los Angeles area. Yeah.
Yeah. So Los Angeles comes in at number 3 with 8. Tampa, another Florida location, comes in with 5.
Tampa, yeah.
And then Phoenix, Glendale comes in with 4. So the top 5 locations have made up about 66% of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
In 5 locations. That's 39 out of the 60 Super Bowls are represented by those 5 cities or metropolitan areas, according to the good book, Chip.
Cornering the market. Good for Miami and New Orleans.
Miami also, they did it across 5 different stadiums, names at least, and iterations.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they must have, because stadiums don't last very long, or at least the name changes.
But New Orleans kept it at the Superdome.
Yeah, that dome's been super for a long time.
Obviously, they want it to be warm and aspirational, but you also have to have 25,000 hotel rooms,
a lot of influx,
a massive convention center, and enough high-end bars to satisfy all the corporate overlords on the planet.
The ritzy ones, baby. The ritzy ones. Mm-hmm.
So that's it, man. Miami and New Orleans tied with 11 for the most Super Bowl hosting gigs on record.
Well played, Thomas. Well played. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, man.
Hawks.
Go Hawks. What's your record, buddy? Hit me with it.
All right, Thomas, do you remember where you were on October 12th, 2024? October 12th, 2024.
I mean, I was getting ready for a Halloween.
A little over a year ago, probably. Setting up those skeletons and those ghosts in your front yard.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you were not in the United Kingdom witnessing history.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Well, you missed out because on October 12th, 2024, Roger Davies of Great Britain broke the record for the fastest speed on a penny farthing.
Oh, one of those bikes with the huge front wheel?
With a huge front wheel.
Wow.
Do you want to take
2024?
In 2024, he broke the record. Do you want to take a guess how fast that penny farthing went?
Good God, the fastest penny farthing of all time. God, your wheels. That's a fixed. There's not a chain on a penny farthing.
It's a fixie.
Right?
Yeah, it is a fixie. Yep.
So your feet have to be able to move. I don't know, 22 miles an hour.
Wow, you were in the ballpark, Thomas. 24.67 miles per hour.
Woo! That's
24.6
fast, dude. That is, your feet really got to be cooking, baby.
It's fast, but hey, get this. That record was short-lived.
What?
Mere minutes later, Guy Banham, not comedian actor Guy Branum, but Guy Banham, or maybe Guy Banham, I don't know.
And definitely not comedian Gary Goldman.
Not Gary Goldman.
Although I bet
later,
he'd be pretty fast. He seems fairly athletic.
He's got those legs. Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. But right after Roger Davies did it, Guy Banham beat the record just a few minutes later, despite racing in a downpour. The rain wasn't coming down. He's on a penny farthing, but he still beat Davies' record. Do you want to take a guess what his speed was?
25.1.
25.82 miles
Woo!
per hour.
That's cooking, baby.
Yeah. So he's up there on that giant wheeled penny farthing, that crazy bicycle, that wild, wild bicycle. He's going 25.82 miles per hour. The unfortunate part was that he did it in a school zone.
Oh.
And he was pulled over by a cop riding an ostrich. So that's unfortunate for everyone involved.
That is tough stuff, but at least he got the record. And a citation, it sounds like.
He did get the record. Thomas, do you think that chicks dig penny farthings? That's what I want to know.
No.
Okay.
I never got penny farthings in the first place. It's like, we know how bikes work.
Yes.
Let's make this wheel real bit. Let's make it impossible to get on.
I actually did, in an old podcast I used to do, I actually did a deep dive on penny farthings once. One of my favorite episodes. It's because of the torque and the whatever, the whole thing. And it was before they figured out the chain situation and all that.
Yeah.
And once the chains have, they called them safety bicycles, which are bicycles basically what look like today. Once they came into favor, penny farthings were out of here.
Yeah, dude.
But my favorite part about when I learned about these, it was usually rich guys that had penny farthings because, they were expensive. My favorite part was that they are very safe to ride.
Why?
No, they're not. I'm kidding. They're very dangerous. And many, many of these guys totally ate it. Many deaths happened.
Oh, my God.
Many horrific accidents. Because what would happen was the guys would just go literally just straight head over. And they're 8-10 feet in the air at that point, and then they just take a header down. Some of them would wear pith helmets back in the day to make it a little bit better, but they were still horribly injured.
Dude. And like you got to keep momentum. You can't really stop, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah.
Without your needing to touch the ground somehow.
Literally what they would do is if they were going downhill ever, because you're sitting basically on top of the wheel and you have the handlebars, they would literally throw their legs over the front of the handlebars and sit like it's like a sled just in case they hit a rock or something. So if they were propelled forward,
their feet would be first.
They would at least be feet first, but they would still just break legs and just die horrible deaths or whatever. But
dude, bros being bros, man.
Bros
being bros.
And for those of you who don't know, it's called a penny fart. Do you know why it's called penny farthing?
I was wondering. I have no clue.
It's not because of Oliver Pennyfarthing inventing them. It's because the big wheel, and if I remember this correctly, I guess in the 1800s in England, the big wheel, it was like the size of a penny.
Yeah.
And the little wheel was the size of a farthing. A farthing was like a little... I don't know if that's the half penny or something, or maybe it was vice versa. I don't know if the farthing was bigger than the penny, but it was like two coins. That's what they looked like.
Wow.
One was a big coin, one was a little coin, the penny and the farthing. So they called it a penny farthing.
That is.
There you go.
But
that's congratulations.
That's pretty classic.
Yeah, congratulations to Guy Banham for going 25.82 miles on top of a penny farthing in the pouring rain.
I feel like this podcast has been going 25.82 miles an hour.
The whole time.
What a wild ride.
We are on top of one giant wheel and one little tiny wheel.
I had a great time. Go Hawks this weekend.
Go Hawks.
This is the Sunburnt Podcast where we talk about comedy, tropical travel. Until next time, stay burnt. Front desk.
Hello, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. We live in a cold, indifferent world. Rain pours down. My mind aches. My shoulders, hunched, stiff, house 1,000 knots from 1,000 battles.
Mr. Chantry, again, I'm not coming up to your room to give you a back rub.